Recording now. Awesome. Um, Happy last week of the quarter. First of all, yay. I sent an email right before the meeting because I thought I was smart and sent it last night before I left, and apparently it didn't go through the way I wanted it to. So you should have a copy of the minutes from last week in your inbox. Did y'all get that?
They were also on the calendar invite.
Oh, so it
That's
did come
probably-
through.
It was on the calendar invite attachments. It wasn't like a separate email. I just noticed that when I popped it up.
Okay, it did. I'm having technology issues, which is one of the topics to cover. Hey, Kevin. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
Yes,
no,
there
I'm
you are.
kidding. I just wanted to make you feel better, like I was having technology issues or something.
Thanks, Kevin. Comes your real friend, real pal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I am booked in meetings from 9 till probably about 2 today. So I
Okay.
lost it at 8:30.
I'm pretty sure this will be a short one.
I appreciate that because I
Okay.
actually am double booked for this one, so I have to leave at
Oh, God,
8:30, and I do apologize.
I am more important. No. Governance
Jess,
council is
Jess,
more important.
Jess may or may not agree with that.
Oh, well, fine then.
Huh?
All right. Are there any edits, changes, corrections needed for the minutes that anyone sees? Everyone feeling good about it? Can I get oh my God.
I motion.
Thank you. Knew it was an M word. Get a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor, give a thumbs up. Motion approved, minutes approved. Awesome. Moving on. Oh, good. So we have Kevin for this part. Yay. So I wanted to share some updates with some things that are kind of happening big picture wise. One of the things is Campus Works, who's doing an evaluation of our technology and IT processes. I don't know if anyone else got a chance, but I had the opportunity to participate in a forum last week just to talk about technology, what's working for us, what is the challenge for us, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know how Kevin feels about it, but I really liked the opportunity. They were really good at asking guiding questions and getting clarification. I think it's really hard to answer some questions when we know we have this looming CTC link thing coming at us. We're like, well, that's how it is now. We aren't really sure what's going to be in the future, but that was really cool. Yes, meeting the students. I don't know if they've had it, but I know Graydon asked me and a couple other people to nominate various students for a forum. So I got names from Magdalena and Gwen and myself and Holly, and so students are a part of that.
Okay.
Kevin, do you have anything that you want to add to that? Because I think it's a
No,
really important process that we're doing.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. There were a lot of, especially with the surveys, one of them was pretty much wrapped around ERP, and we had much the same thing. It's like, well, we don't have it, so it's hard to answer because it's coming, but currently we're not. But there were things that put in the survey, and then as they're asking me questions, it was finally like, oh, well, yeah, we've never had the money, or we've never had the staffing to do some of these things. And, sometimes you got to work with what you have, and things fall off the plate. And there were some big ones that I think are going to be a good thing going forward, that we look at changing some of those things, like technology committee. I really hope to actually get one together. I told them I actually started that process, and then COVID, shot me down because I had one meeting pre-pandemic, and then it was like, where do you go from there? But yeah, some of those type of things, I think they were good questions, and anything especially because none of you guys would ever do this, but just, well, I know that's not working, but they're busy down there and we don't want to tell them. These type of things make people feel a little better about bringing those things up, because a lot of times I'm like, well, I can't fix it if I don't know it. And I know that we're busy, but we'll always be busy. So we still need to look at addressing these things.
Yes, I have that thought in my head. We're like, oh, I don't want to, I think, and that's because we care about each other. But I
Mhm.
think we all kind of have this, we want to try to protect each other, especially after the last couple of years. But
Mhm.
I think it's really important to be able to share that information and bring it forward. Um, Apparently I said something that sounded totally like me because Jess Clark said, I know, like, I know what you think. I was like, really? I'm that transparent? She's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, oh, okay.
It was written at the top of your notebook.
Yeah. So that's happening. So Kevin, can you share, like, after the forums, like, what are some of the next steps that we'll see?
So I believe the forums will wrap up. They go through an internal process of writing up a report. I know they're going to meet with Jess and myself. I'm not sure if there's a pre and then post report, but we definitely will have some information coming out that gives us some ideas on things to work on. I believe Luke told me Shoreline might have worked with these guys, and they got some good info that came out of that report, and just some, I think, ideas, and these are some things you should really focus on. So
Cool.
and then I would assume that they probably would put that information out there for anybody that wanted to look through it.
Yeah. Cool. I think this is awesome because I think the more, if we can get more support around IT, especially after COVID land, and us learning on the fly and working together to try to problem solve everything, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
See, now people are showing up. What the heck? So I met with Chad yesterday, and in addition to briefly talking about the Campus Works, he mentioned the Campus Works also has backgrounds in committee structure evaluation as well, and some Carl's nodding his head. Yes, thank you. So Chad was going to tap into them to help us with committee structure information as well. He was very appreciative of the work that we've done with kind of some of the checklists and guidelines and their information that we have gathered so far. I included the committee structure notes in apparently an email and the calendar invite because I'm just so thorough. So if there is something specific that you think we are missing, or we're missing the boat with that, or something that we need to address, please let me know. I can tell you from my point of view, part of the Guided Pathways work is about having an efficient committee structure, which, to be honest, we have not had at our institution. It's been a little Wild West. So I know Chad and I have had fairly in-depth conversations around how do we organize a committee structure that has clear communication reporting streams up and down so that we can make sure, one, that we know what people are working on, and then two, that we aren't doubling our efforts by committees doing things back and forth that are being covered by other committees. Just so we know what we have, when it's happening, all that kind of good stuff. So Chad has some ideas around that. So he's very appreciative of the information that we have given to him, and he's going to take that to ELT for some further steps. If he has some questions, they'll bring it back, and then we'll address that here for us. Anything on committee structure? I kind of skipped around. I'm so sorry. Notes, comments, thoughts? You guys are really quiet today. You must be as tired as I am. End of the quarter? Okay. Going on budget review. So the budget is, I want to say, being built, and the review process is coming along. Chad is, and I wrote this, where did I write it down? Chad is anticipating coming to see us either mid to late April to present the budget to us for feedback. Just another set of eyes to look at it, present where we are, what's going on, all that kind of good stuff. He and I were trying to pick a date that made sense, especially with CTC Link happening right smack dab in the middle of everything. So as soon as, does anyone have like a preference, like before CTC Link? He was even saying maybe in May, after we kind of get our feet under us with CTC Link. Ideas for preferences on date of time? People,
I would say probably after we
Are
are
you
into
thinking after, Kevin?
CTC Link. Just because I don't want the business office to murder us.
what? That's
I think they're going to be pretty, I mean, not that they're not going to be busy after, because they're going to be doing month close, year close, but I know they're going to need some time to get familiar in the system. So
Diana, is there consideration about timelines for, I mean, I know the budget has to go to the Board of Trustees, right? So the working back from any deadlines there as well.
yeah, that's end of May is when it'll go to budget. I did ask Chad, I was like, if it's early May, does that give you enough time to get it all together? It's like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like, okay, because I thought after CTC Link, we might actually be able to attend to it once we kind of get over that huge hump of coming back on in CTC Link. That was just my thought. So it sounds like, especially with business services, like I agree with Kevin, like I want, because there's gonna, it's just, there's so much to do. No, okay. I'll let Chad know, early May. If you have or have not heard, I've heard it from multiple administrators, we do have a budget shortfall. I've heard 2 or 3 million. I've heard both numbers. I think they're still sorting it out. The good news, there is good news. The good news is that our, oh my gosh, words today, holy cow. Our savings account, what is that called? Help me out.
Reserve.
Reserves.
Reserves, thank you. Man, I clearly need a vacation. My brain is fried. Our reserves is up to $9 million from the very, very scary number that we had a couple years ago. So I think that is amazing that has rebuilt. Given the big impact is always enrollment when it comes to the budget. Right now, it's always enrollment. So I am obsessed with enrollment right now. We are doing a nudge campaign for new students, old students, returning students, trying to get them in and get them registered. We do want to try to get as many students registered as possible, because there are some things we will not be able to do because of the CTC Link conversion, with like adding new sections or any of that. So we are sending out, Trista Flores and I are sending out texts on a weekly basis, and we're going to hit them twice a week in the next couple weeks to include the urgency class. There are some classes filling up, which is a good thing, but it's also a challenge when we're trying to get students in. If you have any ideas on, like, I don't know, should we rent a hot air balloon over the city? I don't know. What can we do to get people in? I will take any ideas. I am banging my head against the wall trying to, come on, people, let's go. We did have a drop-in day yesterday. I haven't checked in with Heather to see how their day went, but just please share the word. We have drop-in days every Tuesday. I'm here till 6. I'll stay till 6:30 if somebody shows up, or 7 if somebody shows up. I know they're pushing on social media. We've been sharing it out. So if you can also share the word, or if you have ideas about what we can do to get students re-engaged for spring quarter, I am all ears, people. So we're really working really hard on that. Okay, that was budget. Next on the list, I just put a date just to be cryptic. June 1st is Celebration Day. So June 1st, 3 o'clock, we're basically gonna shut the place down and have some communal time, party time, hangout time with all of our colleagues. So across the whole college, like we need this. We will be through CTC Link, we'll be through our first year back on campus. Knocking on wood that COVID numbers are gonna stay good, as good as they could be. So there's not a set agenda. They are in the process of hiring a catering person. So we're gonna have food of some kind. So if you have like any like special requests or ideas, I still think we need bubbles, but that's my own thing. I can acknowledge that. Do please share that information. Ricardo's got an idea there. Did you see that, Danielle? I like how you think, Ricardo. So just keep that date in mind. More information will be coming out, but really like everyone should be there. We've all worked so hard and been so stressed out. This is our chance to celebrate. It is before graduation. It is the week before we can start registering students for fall. So this would be a nice, good breather, get geared up, and then we'll hit it hard to get students enrolled for fall quarter start.
Can I add to that?
Sorry, what was that, Carl?
Can I add to this topic?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've been working with Ashley from events on this and coming up with ideas. So if people have ideas, you can actually direct them to me and then I can discuss with Ashley. The other aspect of this that hasn't really been determined yet is those of you that are at other locations than Walla Walla campus, I'd be interested in hearing your feedback on what this looks like for those locations. Is it all here? Is it, do we do some kind of simultaneous celebration at multiple locations? I'd be interested in hearing directly from you. It doesn't have to be at this moment, but if you would reach out to me and let me know what your thoughts are on other locations. I think that's something that hasn't yet been determined.
Thanks for that, Carl. I'm just going to ask, has there been a budget identified for this?
Not an amount, but there are funds that we have earmarked for something like this, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Carl, is there like an opportunity, this Ricardo, for like, I saw 3 p.m. Is there maybe one that we could do in the evening or the weekend for those kind of staff that traditionally don't work the morning, afternoon? As
Yeah,
kind of a
I would.
supplementary piece?
It might be helpful if you and I just connect via a message or email or even phone or Teams and just to have a discussion on this, because that's the kind of thing that I want to make sure that we account for. For instance, I've even talked to Ashley, who's helping me figure out what all this looks like from a catering standpoint. And I told her, I said, I don't want you working from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock on that day, because I'll do that for you so that you can also celebrate. So how do we make sure this is as inclusive as possible? Those are the kind of considerations I'd like to have. Could you reach out to me separately and we'll talk more about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
I like Dan's comment. Get them on a bus and bring them to main campus.
That
Party
actually
bus.
was discussed. We thought about renting a bus, but that may not work for everybody either.
No.
I think you guys should come to our campus instead, because that makes more sense.
I'm just saying, there's
We gotta sometimes get
area on
people
the Clarkson
to leave
campus.
and do something else.
It's a fun drive. It would be fun.
We haven't actually made a destination just yet, so that you know, there is no spot picked for this just yet. But
Where'd you come?
Dodge Junction,
Party at Dodge Junction at the bathrooms too.
they have restrooms.
I do think it's important to remember that there are different campuses and different employees, and that main campus is not the only set of employees.
which is why
So,
I'm asking. Yeah,
because I know our campus is gonna be fairly upset about things if it's not equal
Fair.
opportunities. Yeah,
that's exactly why I'm asking for the feedback.
perfect.
Carl, I'll get together with you. It may be a week or so before I get to you, but you and I will definitely chat about this.
Yep, I'll be waiting for you when you're able and ready.
Thank you.
Emma, I'll come up there. I love the Clarkston campus. I totally would work on the Clarkston campus if it was closer to Waitsburg. And I've thought about it. I love the Clarkston campus.
You too, Gwen.
So harass Carl, gather information and harass Carl. That's what we want. Awesome. Okay, so I talked about committee recommendations and conversation with Chad. Innovation grant recommendations, we have all those notes laid out. We do want to get this process kind of nailed down this year. So this is my ask. I'm asking if anybody has passion for this, who wouldn't mind getting a, and I'm not asking you to do it all together, but get a small group together and start actually laying out an application process, a step-by-step process for the innovation grant. Chad is excited about the governance council kind of owning this and being the holders of the process. So if any, I know, I see Kevin making a face.
No, my face is because I gotta leave here in just a
I
minute.
know, that's
Sad.
what I figured. I keep you around so I can tease you, Combs.
Yeah.
So if anyone has passion, drive, strong organizational skills, you don't have to say now, but if someone said it sometime, I know we are missing some committee members from the discussion, but, or it doesn't even have to be someone currently on governance council. If you know of someone who is passionate about that, is good at like doing that kind of detailed work, that'd be awesome.
Nadine.
All right, take it into consideration. All right, I'll come back
Yeah.
around.
I'm interested in working on the application process, but as maybe as a small team, like not
Yes.
really I'm not, with my kind of distance and some of the limitations of DOC, I prefer to work on maybe, as a team, no leader. But I've already started working on the application kind of template. So somebody wants to help out, I'd be, interested in working together.
I
Anyone
could
who-
work with Ricardo since I was nominated. I was afraid to do it myself.
I'll help too. I'll help too.
Okay, team of
But I-
3.
You just need to tell me what you want me to do because I am not a planner. So you just say, go ahead and do this and I'll do it.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
I'm a
We'll
doer.
do
I'm a
That
doer.
sounds great. Thanks, Gwendolyn. Thanks,
that.
Nadine.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I
Bye,
gotta
Kevin.
go. Bye, everyone.
Awesome. Thank
So
you.
we should
you
vote
three.
Kevin in before he leaves. I think that's what happens usually.
No, he's kind of gonna be busy over the next month or so.
I think we're all gonna be busy in the next
We're all
month.
gonna be a little busy. Awesome. Thank you, you three. Seriously, thank you so much. Thank you. So the other thing to do is to kind of nail down liaisons. So we do have Becky, who has agreed to be our liaison for staff. Got that. So last year I did last year Lisa Rasmussen was liaison for faculty, but she does have stuff happening. So we do need a new liaison for faculty. And then we need a liaison for admin exempt as well. So those are the two positions that we have. Not saying you have to jump in and do it right now, but just so you know, those are two people. So if someone's willing to step up, I know not everyone's here, to do that, I'll send out a request to the entire list later after the meeting, asking for who wants to do it, who wants to
There's also a student, and none of the students are here probably because they're in finals or they're
Yes.
stressed out.
That's what I
But
figured.
there's a liaison, that one of them is the student liaison.
Awesome. Is that, I can't remember who it is. Is it, it's not Becca, because Becca's.
It's so Kat
It's
is
Kat.
a
Thank you.
student at large kind of.
Okay, sweet.
And
So-
Diana, can I just say
Yes.
something real quick? I'm sorry, I've had lots of people in and out of my office today and I haven't been able to go somewhere private to have this meeting. So I
Yes,
didn't hear everything that you just said,
that's okay.
but for those of you who might be considering being a liaison, it's super simple. You guys, you guys saw the communication that I sent out last week, just kind of, recapping what we're doing in governance council. basically that's really all there is to it, is making sure you're communicating regularly with your constituent group, and the liaisons do work together some, as much as you want to put that communication out. But it is, I think, important that people hear from their representative, someone who is kind of in a similar, faculty hear from faculty, and they have that camaraderie and someone that they feel like they can go to if they have concerns or input, and they know who their representatives are. So, it doesn't take a huge amount of time, extra time to be willing to do that. It's just really, sharing messages, once a month or something or whatever, a couple times a quarter, and then being a person that people can go to if they have questions. And honestly, when I send those emails out, occasionally I get some feedback, or questions, but fairly rarely. So, it's not a huge, time commitment. Just wanted to kind of put that out there, but it is important. So there you have it.
Thank you. Any takers? Okay. Again, I'll send that out and request some liaisons from the entire team. Also, if this, I know we're gonna hit up against this, but if this your last year with the council, what a better way to go out than to be a liaison this year. If your last year, but then we'll have new people coming on board for fall. So just keep that in mind. That's it. Okay, we need a chair-elect. So I can move into Danielle's position of taking minutes, and she has been my lifesaver this year with Governance Council. Could not have done this without Danielle, who is so organized and has this so figured out. I am a little scared of her leaving, but I'm just saying. So we do need a chair-elect. It is a 3-year commitment of being a chair-elect, being the actual chair for a year, and then hanging out as a past chair, mainly to support the chair and to take minutes at the meetings. If there is a nomination, I'd be willing to hear a nomination. Or nobody wants to step up. Okay, because I did put out the form and nobody filled it out to either nominate themselves or someone else. So, it's not that bad, really, truly. All right, I'll send. Should we do this guilt silence?
So I'll point out too, Diana, that really you say it's a 3-year commitment, but we're, most of the way through this year. So
Yes, we are.
it's 2.25 year commitment.
That's good marketing, Danielle. All right, I know I'll send out and I'll start harassing people. I'll go door to door if I have to. I'll drive over to Clarkston, North Campus, Coyote Ridge, and somebody's gonna want to do this. I know it. Okay. Becky's even covering her mouth. Like, you're hiding. I see it.
I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding.
Okay, fine. And then around the room, reports from our campus liaisons. What's happening? We don't have Selena today, but Emma, anything from Clarkston campus?
I don't think so. I met with Chad M a couple of weeks ago before our last Clarkston Governance Council, and we're just working on the same things that you guys have been, or that we've been working on in here. I handed out the committee structure information. We went over that. I know we're going back to the end of the year celebration that we just talked about, but they're wanting to make sure that they're included in that as well. And then he did say that budget stuff will be coming spring. So once we do some of that, I'll report back for Clarkston.
Cool. Ricardo, anything hot and happening?
We talked about the committee part. We were actually, a lot of our staff are interested in I think being able to participate in a lot of those meetings now because of Zoom and a lot of the, the options that we have now that we traditionally didn't have. And I think I did talk to Brent and Denise a little bit about that too. So I think for the beginning of next quarter, I think that's what we want to be highlighting is, hey, this is a document that will help individuals understand what are the opportunities also for professional development. And then also this we have, I think, traditionally not participated in a lot of WWCC committees because of the usual things. And then, and so I think we want to change that dynamic here. We have a lot of great staff. We share a lot of staff, so it'd be nice to kind of have those individuals take advantage of it. And so we want to kind of push for that, I think, at the beginning of next quarter and throughout the next year.
Awesome. No, Ricardo, you echoed the conversations Chad and I have been having regarding committees, that if we have a good, strong committee structure, it means we do have good representation from across the college in every committee in some way, shape, or form, Zoom being a huge game changer to make that possible. But also the a committee
Information, and
structure.
just having that information out, I think, would be big.
Yeah.
The opportunities, I think people don't know, what they can be a part of if it's not, I think, updated and they see people's names on those committees. I think that's kind of what we want to see is, hey, those are available, those are options, those are options. And then, like you said, just making it more accessible and equitable for pretty much campuses across and branches throughout.
You nailed it. That's exactly, yeah. I think it's so important to professional development. Chad and I have talked about, and Carla can pester you about this at some point, I'm sure, creating a hub where we know what are the activities that are available to us as staff members of the institution, and how can we access those things? Because we may not know. Oh, Dan, yep. I just saw Dan's message. So I am really passionate about it because strong committee structure is part of the Guided Pathways effort, is to have really equitable, representative structure for committees. So I think this is a conversation we'll keep having as we try to nail this down and develop this, so that next year, hopefully next year, I'd really like to start out the fall quarter with, here's our committees. What are you passionate about? How can we include you? And to go from there. I had just a couple other things I wanted to touch base with y'all is CTC Link is coming. I have I know Carl just sent out a message with the important dates, wrapping stuff up. Thank you, Carl. The other thing is there are trainings available. I know I have been sending trainings to all advisors, faculty advisors as well. Apparently the full-time faculty list doesn't hit everyone that I thought it would. So a little bit of cleanup there. But I think I got it down now. So if you have not heard anything about trainings or gotten a list of stuff that you need to do, you can reach out to me. I'm totally okay being a conduit, but do reach out to Lisa Chamberlain. Like, what are we doing? I know there's certain timelines, but yeah. So just, I know everyone's aware, but just if you have questions, do ask those questions. Do, get the word out so you get, we don't want you flying blind or nervous about it, just to get some information under your belt. Hires. I'm sharing because I'm super excited. We do have an arts and science navigator advisor hired who will start March 28th. I'm so excited. We do have our new volleyball coach who will also be an advisor starting March 28th. Graydon Stanley has a new administrative assistant starting on the 28th as well. Those are the big ones I had, but we've had so many hires, but just, we are getting people hired. I have this feeling we may have this huge glut of new faces on March 28th.
Something tells me you might be right, Diana.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. But just, I'm super excited. I'll wait for the connections to announce it, Carl. I'll wait, but so, but yeah, I'm super excited about these hires. I think they're going to be fabulous additions to the teams. Super excited. Anyone else have a celebration? I'm geeking out about these new hires. Anybody else? Celebrations to share?
PBL's headed to their nationals finally. We haven't gone to nationals for 2 years, so that's super exciting for our club. And it's in Chicago in June, so I have 2 students that are headed there to compete.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super exciting.
Oh, cool. I've missed hearing about those, about our students being able to go to competitions and come
know.
back. Oh,
Where are they going, Emma? They're going to where?
They're going to Chicago
Oh, cool.
for their
Chicago.
national competition, national leadership conference. So PBL is Phi Beta Lambda. It's a professional business leaders, and they compete in various business events. And so the 2 that are going together are both BAS students in the Bachelor's of Management, and they're competing together in one event, and then they each have an individual event. So they're super excited.
that's
Awesome.
awesome. That's so awesome. Cool. Okay, Nadine put Hispanic Caucus is meeting weekly to plan Nuestra Celebración on June 9th. Yay!
Yeah, so we're meeting every Thursday and getting all the details. There's always food, there's always music. And then we also present each student with a stole at the day of. They're invited to bring their family, up to 5 people at this time. We're gonna have it in the Titus Creek Cafe area. And Margarita and I are working on forms for students to fill out, just a quick online form for RSVPs. If you have any students that, you know, the ceremony takes place in Spanish, and then there's English translation. So Jeff Adams has volunteered to have the little headsets and translate for folks, but it's always a really good time, and I'm glad to have it back. We haven't had it since 2019.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. That's all I have for you. Anything else for the good of the order? All right.
Diana, I think I told you that I'm not going to be here for the next meeting. So if somebody else could take the minutes of that meeting, that would be really helpful.
Yes.
I'm going to be visiting my grandson in Virginia.
Oh, yay.
Super excited about that.
Awesome. I'll find someone to take minutes. It'll be all good. Okay, folks, have a great rest of the week. Happy last week of the quarter. Let me know if anything weird or wacky comes up. I'll see you later.
Bye, guys.